Hello everybody and welcome to Rye in Dreamland. Today we are playing Stardew Valley. This is summer year 1. This is going to be a part 1 of 2, mainly because I lost a little bit of footage. So I typically start just by clearing up some of the debris from the season switch. And then we will be right on our way to start collecting the forgeable bundle right off the bat. I try to get that done as quickly as I can or as early as I can in the season so we can focus the rest of our time doing other more meaningful tasks. I typically do the same route to find forgeables, which is heading up towards Robin's and then looping back around towards the farmhouse, and I typically get pretty lucky, and we do again. We find some grapes up here, and then I continue the loop back around, and we go up, and there's often some wormy spots to hoe up here, and we find some again over near the farmhouse, the top entrance. So I go and inspect that, and we are lucky enough to find a little bit of coal actually up here, which is good because we're gonna need quite a bit of that later. We need quite a bit of coal, but we also need clay, which is really what I was hoping to find up here. We need quite a bit of clay to make some of the buildings later on, and then we head back down into the shop so we can purchase all of the seeds that we need for this season. And for your first summer, I would really recommend you try to get as many melon seeds as you can, especially in the early summer. And this is for 2 reasons. Number 1 is they're the most valuable summer crop, and number 2, we need a lot of them to try to get the summer quality crop bundle. So we'll need 5 gold melons. Then we're also going to grab the tomato, blueberry, and pepper, which is the only things we're going to need for the summer crop bundle. So we'll have everything we need for the quality crop bundle as well as the crop bundle. And that'll get us going kind of in the right direction right away. And then we'll just head back to the farm and plant this stuff. And just a little side note, I try and keep one of each of the crop bundles separated. That way I don't accidentally sell them, and then I'll put all the stuff that I'm going to sell, plus whatever the quality crop is, I'll just plant as many of those as I can. So throughout the course of the summer, I probably planted maybe around 150 melon and sold them throughout the duration, just because they're the most valuable item that we can sell at this point. So then I'm off to water the crops, just like I do every day. I don't include it in the video beyond this, but it's just made it into the final edit somehow. So you can enjoy some casual, high-speed watering. And then we will be on our way to go tend to the rest of the forging bundle. I think this one we'll try to get done. Try to get those knocked out of the way as quickly as possible, so if we get a rainy day, we can spend it in the mines trying to get to a low level. I was able to get pretty far in this little playthrough, but it's going to depend on what I can do in the part 2 that I have to reshoot. That'll be the final determining factor of how far we actually make it here, because I have to reshoot all of that video, unfortunately, which means I have to start new character and go all the way back through. So that will be fun, and that's part of the reason why I'm just uploading a part 1 and then I'll upload a part 2. I also did spend a little bit of time in the mines today. I didn't include it in the reporting just because it was uneventful and I didn't make it beyond 5 floors, so I didn't unlock new floors or anything like that. All we got was a little bit of ore, and that was pretty much it. So this will tell us that there was an earthquake that occurred. That is just referring to the northern pass, so that means that a new area has unlocked for us up north. But we will continue trying to collect all the forageable items, and there's the last one, the sweet pea. So that is the final forageable item. But I will continue to look for forageable items just for the sake of energy. And that's basically how I spend the remaining day here, is just in search of all of the forageables I can find to try to increase my energy level, even though they're so minimal. Most of them are 13 or so energy, so need quite a bit of them. But just to eke out a little bit of extra work around the farm, I try to do probably in the beginning of the game, probably 1 lap every day to try to find as much forageables so I can be as efficient early game as I can. I also spend a little bit more in the time in the mine and fishing, but neither one of those was very fruitful, so and welcome to day 4. So I feel like we've done quite a bit in these first few days. We have all of our crops are well on their way and everything is looking good. We have most of the bundles done. I spent a little time digging for clay. I'm not a master at this, and I know there's a specific way to do it to maximize clay, but I just kind of strip mined this beach until I found as much clay as I could, and then I ended up clearing, I think, maybe about 10 clay out of that whole beach area, which is not bad. It's not as efficient as the kind of cheeky way of doing it, but it's still yielded quite a bit. And then I rebuild this little ridge because there is some pretty good stuff over here that sells for a decent amount. So I probably could have saved the wood for something more beneficial, but I felt like this is a pretty good yield, and I probably should have done it in spring, but the earlier you do it, the higher payoff is, because there's a lot of valuable forageables on this side. This will also help level up foraging, which is something that we are going to want to get done before fall, when on the 8th is blackberry season, and if you reach level 4 in foraging, you get an extra blackberry. So I always try to shoot for getting to level 4 in foraging at least by that fall date. But you'll see how lucrative that little plot of land is. That netted us quite a bit of money. And this green rain also gives us a really good opportunity to level up our foraging and make money. These little trees right here drop little ferns, and each fern is worth 90 gold, but it also it can be eaten. It gives you energy and recovers health, but they're super abundant when you get this green rain. So I just went around and chopped every one of those trees that I could find and sold most of it, if not all of it, and for a pretty good profit. So if you get the green rain, I would spend pretty much all day forging and trying to level up as we did here, because it's a golden opportunity, and I've only seen it maybe once or twice before, so I think it's a fairly rare event to happen for us, but it worked out really well. And as you can see, those fiddlehead ferns net you a ton of income if you pick enough of them, so I will grab as many of those as you can. I chopped every tree I could find, and 2,500 at this point in the game that's pretty good. Day 5 would typically be when one of the hot peppers would be ready, but I'm pretty sure I forgot to water it yesterday, so we will have to wait until tomorrow to grab that. But the other crops aren't ready either, so it doesn't really matter. But we will go collect our bounty for the forging summer bundle, which is good to try to get done as early as possible once you see the reward. So we will load these up, and this will be and collect our reward, which happens to be summer seeds. So summer seeds are really good. They have a chance of growing one of 3 crops. It's better if you can get them early in summer. I think the longest crop might be a sweet pea. I think that's 7 days, but earlier is better to try to get that out of the way. That way you can make the money before the season ends. But we had plenty of time, so it's not a big deal. And then from here we will head out and head to our first meaningful day in the mines. And here we are, and in we go. And we'll see how far we can get down this time. And just a couple helpful tips for the mine. These cave larvae turn into cave flies, these flying little monsters, so it's best to try to deal with them while they're still the little larva form, because they're much harder to kill once they're flying. The other thing of note is they do have a chance to drop ancient seed artifact, so it's not super useful this early in the game, but if you do get it, it's nice to have for once you build a greenhouse. That is probably the best crop to grow within the greenhouse, so do keep an eye out for that. I tend to run with a full inventory sometimes when I'm in the mines, and then I don't always notice what is dropped, so just be mindful of that and keep an eye out, because ancient fruit seed artifacts are a pretty rare drop, and it would suck to miss it, especially this early in the game. And it can definitely be found on these earlier floors. So these cave larvae will turn into cave flies, so it's best to try to kill them before they turn. While they're turning, they turn into that little green chrysalis, and they cannot be harmed. So during that stage, just I guess wait it out until they turn into the cave fly, and then they're vulnerable again. Luck plays a huge role in how things will turn out for you in your day at the mine. It affects everything from loot drops down to the likelihood you'll find a staircase. So on an unlucky day, you might have to break every rock on the floor just to find a staircase, and that can take a ton of energy. So you can wait for lucky days. I typically I'm happy collecting rock or whatnot even on an unlucky day, but it does make a huge difference. And now we are on our way to the first summer festival that I am attending. There might have been one before that we missed, but this is the first one that we're actually going to, which is the luau. So we will head down here and talk to everyone and see what they're saying. And Abigail says she's tired of socializing with everyone. She would rather just watch the sea. And we will go check out what's in the pot and add our sweet pea and see if that does anything. I think you can add all sorts of things and get different reactions. Like pants, I guess, is something you can add. I haven't tried it, but I've seen videos and looks hilarious. I've been to Hawaii a few times in real life. I've always wanted to go to a luau, but I've yet been lucky enough to go to one. But it's on my bucket list for sure. It looks like quite the time. I'm a big roast pork guy anyway, so it would work out well for me. After this, I went home and sold all of the extra fruit I had, which helped us level up farming, which is awesome. And I choose tiller, which I think is going to benefit us in the long run. And we make a little bit of money. But all in all, that was a good day. And we are crushing it, especially for the state of the game we're in. It is sort of a shame that I don't get to play this through because I have to re-record all of this, but this playthrough ended up really well and we ended up with quite a bit of loot from all of that and got pretty lucky with the mines, but it is what it is. I'll reshoot what I have to and we'll just push forward. So I was able to get more of the bundles completed, so we will go and drop off the quality crop bundle that we got, and that will just leave corn for fall, so that will get us one step closer to our greenhouse, which we will really want to utilize as quick as possible. And I would do your best, if possible, to build a barn and a coop before fall, if possible, because 2 of the bundles require animal products and some of them require barn upgrades, so better to get that out of the way so you can start upgrading them to the deluxe barn and deluxe coop as soon as possible, because we are going to need ducks and we are going to need goats as well. So I always shoot to try to have those done sooner than later. And there's other things we need for other bundles, like the cave carrot, the red mushroom, and the purple mushroom. So we'll have to keep an eye out as we go through the mines. I also am hanging out mostly in the upper levels because I need quite a bit of stone. I think I need 250 total, 100 for the barn, and then 100 for the silo, and then 50 for the coop, I believe. But it's a lot of stone, so I spend quite a bit of time on these upper levels trying to collect as much stone as I can, because it takes a lot of time and energy, and it burns you up quick if you don't use resources to replenish your energy. And I'm trying to make as much money because they're not cheap either, so trying to balance the energy use with the savings. But we did save up enough and we are able to buy the barn. And what I typically do is spend the resources on the most resource intense project first. So the barn is the most expensive and most resource intense, so it requires the most money and wood and stone. So I try to get that out of the way, so it makes it easier for the next for the silo and for the coop. Just makes it seem like it goes by faster once you do the big project first. So that's how I tend to do it. And these will take 1 day to build. In this case, though, unfortunately there was a festival, so she was at the festival the second day and does not build if she's in the festival, so it took an extra day. So we actually didn't get that finished until day 15. And we'll probably just sell the steel small sword because we already received the insect head as a reward for killing 80 insects in the mines. So that's a level 6 weapon, I believe, or level 4. But anyway, the steel small sword is a level 1 weapon, so we're way better off using the one we already have. And after you make $100,000 in profit, this little quick time event will happen and you will unlock the cave. You can either turn it into a bat cave or into a mushroom cave. I opt for the mushroom cave because it has more immediate benefit of having some of the bundle items like the morel mushrooms and the chanterelle mushrooms that we need for bundles, so I always opt for that in lieu of anything else. You can use the bat for fertilizer, I believe, but I would just take the instant reward in this case. In any case, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. If you have time, please like, comment, and subscribe. It truly helps. Thanks, and I will see you next time.